Hello, you stupendous people. How are you? Today I'm talking about love, man. Love, baby. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So I was communing with the emissaries and I said to them, what's the latest? What's the latest, emissaries? And they replied, because they're funny sometimes, they said the latest is love. The latest is joy. The latest is peace. The latest is long suffering. The latest is kindness. And they went through all the things of the Spirit, what they call the of the Spirit, something like that in the Bible. Okay? And they said, our job now, our role, if we're wondering what it is what the heck we're supposed to be doing, they said our role is to get into those places. Our role is to get to understand what that feels like. Love and joy and peace, kindness and goodness and faith. They said that's what our focus has to be, to get as frequently as we can into those places. The question is, how do we do it? Good question. And the emissary said, no matter what's happening around you, your focus is to get into those places. And so the question is, how do we do it? Well, I'm going to share with you a little system, and it's easy. It's easy, right? Do you want to do it with me? Should we do it together? I'm going to show you how we can do it. You see, there is no difference between imagination and reality. The mind does not distinguish between a real event and an imagined event. Okay? You've probably all heard the little experiment you can do by imagining that you've got a lemon and you've just chopped it in half, and you take the lemon and you put it, you see my face is already doing it, you put the lemon on your tongue, right? And it makes you pull the face, okay? And sometimes your mouth will start to salivate. Why is that? It's not even a real lemon. It doesn't matter. Your mind doesn't distinguish if you do it right, if you imagine it rightly. And because your mind doesn't distinguish between the difference, the emotions that flow from our thoughts, remember our thoughts create emotions and our emotions create thoughts. And so what happens is, all that you have to do is get into the love vibration, and you're going to feel it, and you'll feel it in your body. Okay? Before we do this, I want to just tell you, I watched this video the other day. It was phenomenal. It was just a little sound bite. But they'd done this experiment with 25,000 people. And the woman said, and they got 25,000 people and they put them in a room, right? And I'm assuming like not all together, because that would have to be a big fucking room, wouldn't it? But they put them in these rooms and they measured the energy that was coming off them, the frequency, the vibration. You know, we're all into like the levels of frequency. Remember that chart? And this, she said, and you know what the most powerful frequency was that the people could emit? She said, I know you're going to think it's love. She said, but it wasn't. The most powerful energy and emission that we can give off is when we are feeling authentic. Authenticity is the most powerful. And she was saying it was something like, I don't know, 10 times more powerful than even love. Right? Wow. Authenticity. What is authenticity? Well, it's just being who you are. But hey, it's not an easy journey being who you are. Who are you? Remember when I was talking about the book and how I stole half of my personality from the book? Who are we? But it's not about the essence of who I am. It's being true to who you are. Because I stole all those things from the book. Why did I steal them? Because somebody else could read the book and not take anything. I stole them because they resonated with me, because they were really who I was. And so I just took them because it was an easy fit. If you try and put on a piece that isn't you, it'll just fall off. It won't stick. The pieces that stick mean that that's who you are. Okay? So authenticity. All of these feelings, love, joy and peace, and when you're feeling them, you are really being authentic, right? Because that's who we are. Look at a little child when it's born. It's filled with love and joy and peace and kindness and faith, and it's got faith in his parents. That's what we're born with, we forget. Okay, so how do we do it? So what we're going to do, we'll just do it with a couple, all right? And we're going to use authenticity as well, okay? But I want to start with love. I want you to think about the last time, or one time that comes to mind, the most important time, when you were giving love, when you were being love. So just take a moment and just trust the very first thing that comes into your mind. Giving love, being love. Okay? And I want you to now, you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. I want you to go back to that moment when you were being love. Okay? Not loved, when you were being love, giving it. And I want you to see that as it was happening. As it's happening now, you're there and you're watching it happen. You're watching what you're doing. And as you see that, I want you to hear anything that you were hearing, as though you're hearing it now. And as you're seeing and hearing all of that, I want you to feel what it feels like in your body to be love. Now, I'm just going to take a moment to do that myself. Okay. I've got an event that I'm thinking about, and it was just the other day when my brother and sister-in-law came with a little baby, and the little baby was in her arms, and she was looking at me and I was looking at her, and I was filled with love. It was pouring out of me. I can feel it now. Wow, tingly I am. Okay? That's how we get into love. That's it. You just have to remember a time and go into it and see it again and feel it and hear it. That's how we get into love. So whenever, no matter what's happening, we can always come away from it. You know, and people do this in meditation and all kinds of stuff like that. But you don't need to go into deep meditation. You just have to remember a time when you were love and go in there and feel it. And as soon as you start feeling it, you know, you notice it in your body. It kind of goes, woo. For me, love is not static. It moves. It's like a wave coming out. Okay? So think about a time now when you really were being authentically you. Even, it doesn't matter. It's you just being who you are. Right? Think about the time. Let it come to your mind now. Okay. I've got one. And go back there now and see it with your eyes as though you're there now. And as you see that, hear everything that was happening. And as you see and hear that, feel that authenticity. Feel what it's like to be authentic. Feel how strong you feel when you're being authentic. Feel how powerful you feel when you're being authentic. Feel how good you feel about yourself when you're being authentic. It's a nice place to be, isn't it? And again, that's how we get there. So imagine feeling authentic now. The authentic you. And then imagining what you want as an authentic person. You're emitting energies that are really high. And you imagine what you want. Imagine doing your affirmations from a place of authenticity. Feeling authentic. And then affirming what you want. Very powerful. So that's how we do it. Easy. And how long does it take? How long does it take? A minute? You know, it's not your whole day going, oh. No. A minute. Get into love. Once the vibration's there, it'll stay for a while. And then it'll go because life happens. Shit happens. But then you can get it back if you want. I mean, there are other ways. You can create anchors as well to start anchoring in the love. But it doesn't matter. You don't need to. The anchor's the memory. That's actually the anchor. All you have to do is remember, and oh man, I feel so good. And now I've got the image of my niece in staring at me, and it's lovely, and I can feel it. Okay, so that's what we do. The more we do that, the more easy, or the easier, it is for us to go into those places. You know, one of the unfortunate things is that we spend a lot of time thinking about bad stuff, remembering bad memories. And of course, what we're doing to ourselves is exactly the same as we've just done there, but on the other side, which is learning how to feel bad. And we don't want that. I think there's enough feeling bad knocking around these days for us to be immersed in it as well. Fuck them. Let's feel good. Let's get a bit of love, joy, peace, kindness, long-suffering, goodness and faith going. I love you all. I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.